ever gotten to the place where we're takers? This is what I'm getting at. And for him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason the 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the 10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut.
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous Ed Lover, and you are watching Forgotten Kings TV. That's right, Forgotten Kings TV. Come on, son.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on Onlyfans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
What's going on, world? It's Xiaomi Sensei ripping them back again with another video. Shannon Sharp's future with ESPN is still up in the air after it was reported yesterday that Shannon Sharp offered the accuser $10 million in hopes that she wouldn't go public with her lawsuit. Okay, now again, this is interesting, right? Because a lot of people, assumed that the situation was a shakedown based on Shannon Sharp's reaction. Okay, he released a video about 2 days ago, letting the world know, listen, there will be some clips making its way on social media. Just to let you know, the audio was edited, right? According to Shannon, he wanted Tony Busby and his team to release the full video in its entirety, unedited. And of course, what did Tony Busby do? Drop more clips. Okay, the second clip was released yesterday of Shannon Sharp speaking with the accuser on the phone, basically saying he wanted to choke her, but you can tell there was certain blank spaces in between, during the conversation, that the audio itself is obviously edited. Okay, but as of right now, people are wondering, will ESPN release Shannon Sharp based on these allegations? Now, again, we already know these conversations happened around this time last year once the accidental IG Live took place. You get what I mean? So now, just yesterday, Stephen A. Smith, he went on his show and basically told everyone, look, I vouched for Shannon, okay? I gave him the cosign. I told my boss to bring him here. But listen, this one is out of my out of my pay grade, okay? As far as Shannon's future with ESPN, again, we have to wait and see. But as of right now, everything looks to be normal, okay? They said Shannon took a day off yesterday. But like I said, man, this whole situation continues to unravel. The more details we get on the accuser now, they know her name by Gabby. She was an OnlyFans model. I mean, it just continues to get worse. Even the content, right? The details within the explicit messages that was released on behalf of Shannon Sharpe and his team. Like I said, right now, this whole situation, it's not looking good for Shannon. All right. Now, earlier today, Mase, right? From It Is What It Is, he was off yesterday, right? So it was just Cam and his reaction. But today, Mase, he went ahead and gave his reaction to the Shannon Sharpe lawsuit. I'm going to give y'all his take on that in a minute. Give me a second. But yeah, man, I'm just curious to know, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? Do you think ESPN will eventually let Shannon Sharpe go? Because again, some people feel like Shannon's attempt at paying off the victim was only to, prevent him from losing out on that money with the podcasting deal. You get what I mean? If you're in the middle of negotiations and something like this comes out, yeah, that would scare somebody from wanting to give you $100 million. You get what I mean? Again, that's just how people are viewing it. However, there are others who feel like maybe Shannon is guilty, and this is why he tried to pay off this young girl before she went public. And as you can see, all of the backlash Shannon's been getting, all year. But like I said, let's get into Mase's response to this whole situation, because again, this is wild, man. Like I said, Shannon Sharpe, you're too old to even be in a situation like this. But give me a second.
The case. Audio files have been released. Text messages have been released.
Send audio, because I want to make sure what I heard
something
was
about choking her, and she was like, "I don't want to be choked," and he was like, "Yes, you do." But he's claiming it was an edited audio file. It's a lot of different parts, and I know for the audience, I'm summing it up. If you want to know more details, it is online. But Mase
is new, and also Mase's new audio came out yesterday. He said, "You want a big back? I put a big black baby."
Man.
He said, "A little white girl put a big black baby in you," or something to that effect.
Wow. This is a lot. Where do we start? The girl is 19. He's how?
54 or 56, one of the
50. We just say 50, in the late 50s, right? So he's in his late 50s. She 19. This is a lot. This is a lot, because I know when I'm hearing people, they're like, "Well, this wouldn't have happened with a black girl." Let's start right there. With a black girl, he probably would have paid child support. There's a lot of things that it would have been easier. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not for this, but it would have been easier with a black girl if let's say she was from the projects, her name was LaTanya, He wouldn't have been paying what he's paying. I just know that much. So, y'all think I be laughing? I'm not trying to see. This is why I don't talk. You don't think I'm trying. I'm not trying to make light. This is a serious matter, right? This is a real serious matter. Let's make it serious, because I'm not trying to joke. People would say that a man only end up here when he's being arrogant, right? When people get a bunch of money, they think they could do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? I've been rich. I'm rich. Killer's rich. He's been rich. A lot of people been rich and they still are rich. But I don't think we've ever gotten to the place where we're takers. This is what I'm getting at. And for him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason the 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the 10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. Just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right? So if there's a pimp, right? Why y'all keep laughing? I know this is why they flew me back in. They wanted to know my take. But listen, all jokes aside, if the girl said I want 10, this may be the lawyer, right? Just hypothetically, all of these things, right? And the guy who put her on to Shannon was like, you didn't even know him. I put you on them. You didn't even know who that was. You was asking about college.
You was asking about college.
Yeah, this is your Thurgood Marshall right here. Him right there. For real? Yeah, that nigga worth a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her. And then she said 10. He was like, 10 is my 10. You got to put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed. I'm just telling you, I ain't been out the streets that long. I know this is how peace think. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody's watching this and you know that behavior, you just put it in the chat and say it's Mase lying. And then another thing I want to look at in this whole entire case, right? I heard something about 50 or 25,000 a cheek.
25,000 a cheek.
That's what she texted him. She need 25,000 per cheek.
What are you doing with a cheek to pay 25? No, this is a lot. Pause. This is a lot to unpack. Just really thinking about it from an objective point of view. We pray all of this is like a fallacy or some kind of hoax or something like this, because he was about to get a bunch of money. And you know, when you're about to get a bunch of money, people that hate on you just wait until you're about to get that money and rain on your parade. But we can't say that. And that's why I wanted to say it, to get Stats' opinion. I knew when I said that she was going to go, yeah. No, you can't be on your way to 100 million. I keep telling Killer, right? And niggas picking these kind of girls. You can't do that. We talked about this with Ant-Man. We talked about this with several players. You just can't do that. You about to get 100 million. You can't throw it away for IG model. Is she an IG model?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. How does that work?
She got her separate account and she do her thing on there and people pay.
Is that the one like when people show their feet?
You can. It's whatever the client wants.
So just think about this. What can he do at this point? What can he do at this point?
Yeah, I pay.
He's not wrong.
I don't want him to pay, but he already made an offer.
Who told him that?
Huh?
Who told him to make an offer?
I don't know. It must be bad if you want to make an offer.
I'm not making no offer. Niggas can say what they want. I'm not making no offer. Listen, I'm going to court. You gotta get it through the courts.
Yeah, listen.
That's how you supposed to do it. I'm not giving up no money.
Yeah. I mean, it sounded like she wanted abuse. To be fair about it, she wanted anal sex and got mad because he didn't put a condom on. It sounded like she wanted some. I was put it like this. My personal opinion is what I was rocking with. I was rocking with Shannon. Like, this is shakedown because he moved from Cali to Nevada. She moved from Cali to Nevada, and I was obviously 100% saying this some fucked up shit until I found out he offered money.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I was pretty much just having fun, but pause, after you say he offered 10, that changes everything.
Yeah, and then what he said also, I don't know if you know this part, when he made his statement, he said I believe what they're trying to do is going to be 30 seconds of a sex tape that comes out that's going to try and make me look bad. If you want to do everything, he said, I don't have the tape. But if you want to show everything, show the whole 10 minutes. He said, but 30 seconds of this tape makes him look really bad. So now we got audio of him saying he's choked her. Once he's going to choke her. and he said some slick shit to her that little white girl, I put a black baby in you now, a violent 30 seconds of sex tape supposed to come out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if I hope all of this is untrue. If it is true, then they gotta do something about this. If ESPN can endure this, then they should give guys like Paul Pierce his job back. They should give Matt Barnes his job back.
Yep.
And even Michael Irvin, our own Michael Irvin, should get his job back.
Yeah.
If people are not just gonna, honor what they're supposed to honor, to me, I believe that he should keep his job if he's innocent. But if he's guilty and ESPN keeps him, then ESPN need to give all those people their job back. But I don't really know how this is going to turn out.
That's very true.
And I saw, all I saw really was the interview with Stephen A. when he was speaking of it. And I was watching it very carefully, Killer.
Stephen A. said something about this already?
Yeah, because Stephen A., he didn't stand with Shannon Sharpe like he stood with Jay-Z. When he heard about Jay-Z, he said, the guy I know, this is not true. When it came to Shannon, he was like, I wasn't there.
Yo,
in a nutshell, yeah.
All right, y'all. That was Mase in his latest take on the Shannon Sharpe lawsuit. As you can see, he spoke about Stephen A. Smith and his reaction because, again, Stephen A. Smith took credit for being the person who initially put the idea out there that Shannon Sharpe could possibly be working with First Take and ESPN again. Okay, this was around the time that Shannon had his falling out with Skip Bayless. Of course, we know about the history between Skip and Stephen A. Smith. So this was a great opportunity, right, to get someone from the other side to join the team. You know what I mean? And since then, everything has been on the up and up, right? We understand about Club Shay Shay, the success that Shannon has received with his platform. But again, once we seen those headlines of Shannon Sharpe getting ready to sign $100 million podcasting deal, that's when everything was up. Because literally not even 24 hours later, the lawsuit was put in, okay, over the holiday weekend. So like I said, as far as the outcome of this situation, we have to wait and see exactly how ESPN decides to move, because like May said, it's been some hypocrisy over the years, ESPN, listen, they got a lot to talk about over there. I don't want to advocate for someone losing a job because in the end, it's a possibility. This is why I said Shannon putting himself in a situation, I can't believe he allowed himself to get put in a situation where he could potentially lose out on all this money because of his lust. You know what I mean? Putting himself in a position where someone like this OnlyFans model could run a game against you. You get what I mean? Now, as far as the details in regards to their relationship, look, like I said, very graphic. People reading these messages, seeing how explicit these messages are, right? People are uncomfortable with the fact that Shannon allowed this non-black woman to speak to him in that manner. Regardless if this is, the privacy of his life or not. Like I said, now the public is looking at Shannon differently. You know what I mean? Just last year, he was everybody's unk, okay? Now, I'm not sure, right? Him putting out the messages, vindicating himself, that's one thing. But once you see headlines of him offering $10 million, come on, the public immediately assume that there's some form of guilt, And again, like I said, there are those who feel like he didn't want to mess up the negotiation process with this new podcasting deal because, again, this was literally over the holiday weekend, okay? They wasn't playing. The moment that headline made its way on everyone's feed, here come Tony Busby. Now they're releasing audio clips. Like I said, will we get to see full video or, full audio unedited? I guess we have to wait and see. But again, y'all let me know, man. What are your thoughts on Mase and Cam in their reaction to Shannon Sharpe in this controversial lawsuit? Like you heard Mase said, it's unfortunate ESPN has let a lot of people go. And now that this situation has been brought to the forefront, now it makes you wonder, you know what I mean? Will they handle the situation with gloves on? Because when it was Paul Pierce and other people, I mean, the decision was already made. But with Shannon, listen, we got to understand, they paid him a lot of money to bring him over there. So, like I said, they really over there rubbing their hands trying to figure out the situation. But again, like I said, if you want to see the full response from Cam and Mase, I'll make sure to leave the link in the description so you can hear everything that was said in its entirety. Because again, it doesn't take a blind person to see that Shannon got in the situation. This whole situation happened for over 2 years. You get what I mean? So the whole time you getting roped in, this individual waiting for the right opportunity, and boom, here we are. All right, but again, y'all let me know, man. What are your thoughts on Shannon Sharp's controversial lawsuit? Do you think ESPN will eventually let Shannon go? Or do you think they'll move on from this like they did his controversial IG Live? Again, let me know your thoughts on everything down in the comment section below. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. My name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace. Salute world, I need y'all to do me a favor right quick and tap into the homie Grand Finale's latest video titled Sidelines. Okay, the full video is available on his YouTube channel. However, I'm about to bless y'all with a quick teaser. Okay, if you like what you hear, make sure to head on over to his channel and leave a comment. All right, and make sure to tell him that Rip sent you. Okay, run them numbers up. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.
Upon the world before you dearly depart. Let the world go by, by, by. Just let the world go by, and it'll all be just fine.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, hit that notification bell to get the latest on hip-hop, sports, comedy, whatever. All right, we got you covered over here at Forgotten Kings TV. And also, click on one of these videos, okay? All right, y'all.